Hey everyone, it's Megan. I'm here to give you a winter pruning update for my 5th year vines. I have 5 rows here of 6 vines each, and I have gone to town on 1, 2, 3-ish, 4. I think I'm working on my 4th row over here, and I wanted to kind of show you my progress and my techniques. I live in Vermont, and it's always good to have a backup cane. So as I've learned and explored this project, it's good to have 2 canes kind of come up from the bottom. This one kind of has a Y in it, which is a little unique because the T is supposed to be towards the top of the vine, but this is kind of an extra. This is a great example of a backup vine. You can see the thicker vine is probably year 5. And this little one I kept last year. This grew last year and I'm keeping it this year. So that's just a backup I'm going to grow and just kind of flow along just in case if anything ever happens to this big one or even one of these side main vines, we can use that. So that's a tip for you to consider as you're doing pruning. In the winter, while it's still cold, you want to prune your vines back at least 70%, if not 80%. For me, I always try to do as much pruning as possible because in the spring, if you're new to this, those little buds come out, and those buds are your precious canes for the summer growth and for your fruit. So you don't want to knock those buds off. So the more pruning you can do in the winter, the better. I have a high cordon system, and I'm just showing you a few things that I'm doing here. For each of these canes, you want to keep at least 3 buds. So you can see here, there's 1, 2, and 3 growing under here. And for this long one here, you can see this wood is, it's alive, but it's a little broken. So I'm going to keep 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to cut that at 4. And I'm just going to kind of go through here and say, well, what do I need to keep? What do I not need to keep? You can see this one here has some halfway. Don't really need these. I might keep 1 or 2 for emergencies, but you can just be aggressive and just take those canes and kind of throw them off. The snow will melt and you can pick up them in the future. So I'm just going to work my way down. I did want to show you, if you have a vine that dies, you can retrain your canes. And I have a really good example of that down here, just to show you for education purposes. So this is a skinny one. So this is one I probably saved and I had a new cane growth, or I put a new vine in, and you can see it's ready to be pruned. So I am aiming for this like T. So you can see I have one coming straight up, and then I have one coming to the left, and I have one coming to the right, which is awesome. So all these other ones, like this, I'm not going to need, because this is going all the way up now, which is awesome. And you can just give that a good yank, and if it's connected somewhere else, just cut it. And then, since I'm not going to need this one either, so I'm just going to prune it as closely as possible. Now I get towards the top and I look, well, which one of these vines is healthy? Which one should I keep? This one's definitely really healthy, so I might keep it. But over here, this one's a little less healthy up here. I may keep it for right now. I do like the height of this placement compared to this one right here. So I'm going to leave those 2. This one I don't need, so I'm going to cut that. But I have a couple over here, and there's probably 3-ish healthy ones. There's 2, so I have to figure out which ones I want to keep and which ones I'm going to take away. And you might have these little buggers that kind of connect them and lock them together and just give it a good pull. It's kind of thrilling, but it's just a little bit a potted prune. So now I'm going to make a decision here with you all. Do I keep this one down here? Do I keep this one? So you can count the number of nodes too, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are those little buds that are kind of growing on that cane. This one up top is higher. It has that true T. So I may keep both for right now, but I should cut one. So I kind of have to be a little brave. So I'm just going to make a decision. I'm going to cut this one here, but I'm going to leave this bud right here. So if I need that to grow a new cane as an emergency, this little bud will grow a full cane. So since I just cut this one right here, and I'm going to yank it. This I'm gonna now tie up. This is my 1 and my 2. This will be tied up over here. So as this grows, there's gonna be one primary to the left, one primary to the right, and then I'll have this little tiny bud right here as a backup if I need it, which is good. It's always good to have a backup. And I want an extra one down here. So look at this. This is my backup that's growing. It looks like I have 2 backups. See these little tiny sticks down here? These are actually grapevines. So I have a couple backups just in case anything happens to this really tiny, sensitive vine. So good progress, but